Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me to discuss the future of capitalism and impact investing lessons learned out of COVID-19 is Amit, CEO of the Global Impact Investing Network. Amit, it's great to see you again. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
It's great to see you too. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's tackle new capitalism and the new normal. What's your vision for the future of capitalism?
Well, I believe that we need to be working for a financial and economic system that works for all people on the planet. One that provides sustainable financial returns so business can grow and we have a strong, resilient economy, but one that also supports a healthy and fair society and a sustainable planet. I think those are all critical to when we think about the future of capitalism, is one that does work for everybody.
You believe that the current economic system is broken and that it is our time to reset capitalism. How is the Global Investing Impact Network taking on that leadership role?
Yeah, I think it's critical that we invest differently if we do want a world that is truly sustainable and inclusive. At the GIN, which is what we call the Global Impact Investing Network for short, we are focused on the role of impact investors. These are investors who put money to work to have a positive, measurable impact alongside a financial return. And when I think about the role of coming out of this crisis, it's going to be important to put impact front and center when we think about the recovery. And so impact investors have a lot to bring to this conversation as we reshape our system so that it does serve everyone and support a stable economy and planet.
Yeah, you'd almost think it's like the silver lining coming out of COVID-19, because I feel this is the most aggressive that everybody has been talking about sustainable investing and economic inclusion for all. So how have impact investors responded to COVID-19 and what are we learning from that crisis?
Well, I think the crisis is teaching us a lot. It's really putting a spotlight on deep inequities that have existed in our system for a long time. And so we're seeing the vast differences in the way people work and the vulnerability that so many working people have when it comes to their economic lives. It's also surfacing deep inequities around race and gender. These aren't new, but we are all seeing them in a different way, and I think it's important for us to act on them. Where I see them, those big lessons being applied is that if we want to have a world that is actually more inclusive, that creates more opportunity for everybody and creates more stability, even for those who are less well off in our economy, it's important that we invest differently. And that's where I think impact investors have a lot to offer, because now we see major financial institutions, titans of industry, the world's billionaires and CEOs, as well as the population. Everyone wants us to have a system that is different, and so we need to take that call for change and land it in a place that actually results in a real different experience for everybody. And that's the transition I believe that we're working through as we speak.
So do you think impact investing truly makes an impact? Because of course the question is, how do you measure or quantify that impact and the success of it?
Well, I think one of the things that everyone's thinking about now is how do businesses and investors have an impact on a broader set of stakeholders, on customers, but also on workers, on communities, and the environment, not just shareholders. And as they think about that, the big real question is, how do you take those pledges and promises and translate them into results? And that's where impact measurement and management fits in. And the GIN has a system that's available to everyone. It's free, it's online, called IRIS Plus, IRIS with a plus sign. And IRIS Plus is a system where you can start with an objective, let's say gender equity, or something like affordable housing, and identify the specific strategies and metrics that investors can use to help measure their performance against achievement of that goal. So it's really an opportunity to take those intentions and translate them into real results.
Okay, Amit, thanks so much for joining us on Trade Talks.
Great, thank you.
And thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq.